And one more thing. Now make my way to the funky gym. On my way to the funky ass gym in the morning. Now I'm yawning. Wipe the coal out my eyes. I woke up early today, man. I was surprised I woke up this early. I was kind of hyped up yesterday, especially after we whooped that white boy's ass, man. I think I am definitely on a um, I think I'm definitely on a white man don't own your identity kick. I don't think people understand. Like, I get along with a lot of non-Israelites, right? What I mean by that is I have, through my tutelage, and then before I say it, I love speaking about how I was created by my generals. And part of the reason I love speaking about how I was created by my generals um, is because I'm gonna tell you the main reason is because when I tell other people that you got to do the same thing, I'm coming from a space where I did it myself, so they can't say, "Oh, you didn't listen to nobody, you just did it." No, we all did. My general listened to somebody. His men listen to somebody. We all listen to somebody. Don't get caught up. Don't let nobody get you caught up in you ain't gotta listen to nobody. That's garbage. That's nonsense. Don't make sense on no level to not be taught, raised, groomed. That's why we so messed up now. That's why they call them YNs, and that's why they call them 304s now, because we're living in a time where can't nobody tell nobody nothing, can't nobody teach nobody nothing, and that just don't make no sense. So I glory in. I'm just looking for trying to get a new case for my phone. So I glory in knowing that I was raised by them, and they have taught me how to be in spaces where I'm in spaces with people that are not my people, but you don't see me going crazy. But there's some subjects that you're not going to be able to really have a good standing with me. And one of those subjects is when it comes to identity. So this started with um, Yara's debate. This was this started at the debate. When I saw that debate that Yara did, Yara really kind of pissed me off a little bit. That he actually took the debate. Because I'm like, why would you do that? Why would you like? When I'm saying took the debate, like there's some things like you sitting there battling a white man to prove you are who you say you are. And when that white boy called into the show last night, what was amazing, and I'm just trying to make sure I get the right kiss. This has a kickstand. I need a privacy. I need a privacy. It gotta be a privacy. No, I don't need no S Pen holder. And here's for all black people to understand. Just remember this. This for all black people. Always remember this statement right here, man. If white people took Jesus Christ, Yahweh Shah Mashiach, if they took his identity away, why would you ever think that they would give you your identity? You got to remember that. You got to let that sizzle in your spirit. you got to live with that. You got to own it. You got to own it. There's no wiggle room for it. There's nothing. You have to own that. You have to stand with that. That's what you have to stand with. Now, you can stand with that, you'll be amazing. Just think about that. When you say Jesus is black, at one point before I'm gonna say before the Israelites really came out pushing that, you didn't nah, Jesus is white, Jesus is white. I mean, as I said on the live stream yesterday, it's still evident when you go see the statues, when you go into most churches, whenever they give you images, they don't depict Christ the way that he's supposed to look. Bro, please watch the road. You're passing cars while looking down. Yeah, I'm good. I appreciate it, man. But they do not promote Christ or the children of Israel, because here's the thing. And you got to ask white people this question. You got to ask them. If Jesus brown or black, then what would that make his mama and his tribe? You got to ask them that. This is how white supremacy works. This is how white supremacy works in their mind, and then it translates into our mind. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
What's up, Cal?
What's your name?
From Rick. Calling from Charlotte.
All right, go ahead, brother. You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I have a question about Isaiah. Isaiah 14:1.
Okay.
The question is that I know that I watch a lot of you guys speak about how when that time comes, the Lord will take us and settle us back into our own land.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking that land was only called Israel when they, I guess when they named it a state in 1948, right? That land was never, it was always called the land of Israel, meaning the land of the Israel people, correct?
Right.
So is it safe to say, that, or biblically to say that when that time comes and America or whatever is destroyed, could we just build back up instead of being taken back to another place?
Build back up what?
America.
Israel? No, we not built. No, America is the lake of fire in the Bible. When
Okay,
like
so
people think the lake of fire is like some spiritual place you're gonna see. No, America, when it's burning, like in Revelations the 18th chapter, when it says the merchants are standing afar off and see her burning and say, how great is one city come to naught? That's America burning.
okay. So also, so does the land of Israel have to be going back
Yes.
to the land? Okay.
Yeah.
That's what.
Yeah.
Okay, that's what I was wondering. That was just a quick question. I know it's a little bit off topic.
No, it's on topic. That even a question like that is on topic, because now here's how you can make it on topic. How did we lose our identity scattered from people selling us, our disobedience? We lost everything,
Right.
and so now that's why we have to be brought back, so we can know what our homeland is and was. Like, it's not even that state of Israel. Like, that state of Israel is a dividing of Palestine, and Palestine was not Israel. Israel was bigger than what Palestine was when they divided it in 1948. You follow me?
Right.
So,
Right.
yeah, so none of that is true Israel. It's just a state. That's why they call it the state of Israel. That's Palestine
Right.
divided in half. Right.
Because the land was never called actually Israel. It
No,
was
it
just
was called
Israel's
Israel.
land.
No. It was
Okay.
called, like, if you look up in the Bible, it say the land of Israel. Just like it would say the land of Canaan. You know what I mean? Because that's what, when you want to know what it was called before that, you have to start first with the Garden of Eden. So the Garden of Eden is the same locale of the land of Canaan, which then would be called the land of Israel.
Okay.
So that's how it
Okay.
would
I
go all
get it.
together.
All right. I appreciate that.
Hey, no problem. No
All
problem at all.
right.
Appreciate the call. So when you think about white supremacy goes so deep into our brain that even when the white man says Jesus is black, nobody thinks to go further than that. It's like what you say in your brain when the white man say Jesus is black. What you say in your brain? Well, at least he recognized Jesus. The white man recognizing Jesus is black is like the white man recognizing Michael Jordan is black. Like the white man recognizing Michael Jackson is black. Like the white man recognizing any famous person. That's why I played for y'all the other day that School Days, excuse me, not School Days, that movie Do the Right Thing. When Spike Lee is asking that white man who's his favorite entertainers, all of them were black. All of them was black. And what did that white man say? He says, "Nah, they're not black. They're bigger. Wait, I'm not saying they're not black, but that's how they look at saying Yahweh Shai is black. They look at saying, and for my Israelites, the reason why y'all hearing me keep saying Jesus is to get on Caesar Borgia. Now, I'm not talking about Yahweh Shai. Talk about what they gave us as far as Caesar Borgia goes. That's why you hear me saying Jesus. Most of the time, I would say Yahweh Shai. So when you look at wait, my man said, look at the Shroud of Turin. He ain't black, homie. Now we gotta believe that a shroud was on Jesus. That's how diabolical the white man is. The white man is diabolical. We gotta believe that this shroud that they found and said it was laid on Jesus. We gotta believe these white people. I don't believe when it comes to that Bible, I don't believe nothing from the white man. Nothing. It has to be like source after source after source before I would ever say, okay, that could have some validity to it. Because the white man is the devil. Devil meaning deceiver. And so you gotta what I want y'all to make sure I want y'all to put Israelite supremacy in your brain. And Israelite supremacy is this. When that white man says that Jesus Christ is black, you ask him, if Jesus Christ is black, what is the tribe that he comes from then? Now, because if Jesus Christ is black, then the tribe that he comes from is also black, even if he says brown, because we many different shades of brown. You could be extremely light brown, extremely dark brown. And now, once he does that, now let's say for the sake of argument, this is a good class. Let's say for the sake of argument, he says, well, I'm only talking about Jesus. Then you go to Hebrews 7 and 14, where you can read that Christ is from the tribe of Judah. And you can go to Revelations 5 and I think 8, when it says, behold, the lion from the tribe of Judah, meaning Christ is from the tribe of Judah in heaven right now. Let that sizzle in your spirit. Let me read that for you, in case y'all might think I'm capping. That's how much your ethnicity matters. That even in heaven. So don't let them think that being an Israelite don't matter. Otherwise, this Revelations 5 and 5. Caller, hold on. Revelations 5 and 5. And one of the elders saith unto me, weep not, behold, the lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David. So even in heaven, the tribe that you come from matters. They gave Christ registry in heaven. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Strong Caps, Tony from Boston.
What's your question or comment? I'm beginning to think you're a groupie or a
Both.
glutton for punishment.
You talking to me?
Yeah.
What you mean a groupie?
You call every day you call. Every live stream you call. You're a groupie. You
All
might as
right.
well. You might as well go to. You should go to ishbk.com and pay your tithes.
I wouldn't pay my tithes to y'all.
Then I wouldn't talk to you. So when you think about that in Revelations 5, it's given Christ's whole registry. It says, "Behold, the Lion from the tribe of Judah, the root of David." That's like with me saying, "Tazaryach Hawada Bunya Sha'ala." That's what that's like me saying. It's crazy work. The other subject I wanted to talk about, so and I did that because the battle that Kadazar and myself had with the white guy. Let me see if I could play some of it. I thought it was epic, me personally. I thought it was epic. Let me see if I can find some of it. Bear with me 1 second. Hopefully, I'm at the minute marker. Hold on 1 second. Hold on 1 second, y'all. I need to let my captain know I'm doing a live. Hopefully this is at the minute marker. Hopefully, yeah, I think it picks up right where we was at. Oh, nah, hold on. Let me see. Are you white?
Yes, I'm white.
Okay. Do you have to prove your identity to anybody?
Absolutely
I want y'all to listen.
not.
I want y'all to listen to this. Now I'm gonna make an isolated.
Nobody.
I'm gonna make an isolated clip out of this conversation, but I want y'all to listen to some of it.
Right, because you have no proof, right?
Are you white? I'm assuming.
Wait, but let me back it up.
You have.
So when a white man says, "So we the children of Israel," and when a white man
did the caller, and then now we're talking. To
now what? Say that one more time.
Yeah. So the claim is you don't have to prove your identity to the white man. Is that what that means?
That's correct. Absolutely correct.
Y'all hear that?
What
so my claim is that you don't have to prove your identity to the white man. And like I've been saying the past couple of days, if I said I was a Muslim, that white guy wouldn't have called. If I would have said I was Nubian, that white guy wouldn't have called. If I said I was Afro-American, African-American, Bantu, Ashanti, anything else, that white man would not have called at all. He would not have called and said, "Prove to me you're Bantu. Prove to me you're a Hamite. Prove to me you're Nubian." He would not have called. You know he would have what he would have done? He'd have just laughed and brushed us off. Why do y'all think it is that white people and black people, but white people first, why do you think it is that white people make us or want to make us or force us to prove who we are? I need somebody to answer that. I'm gonna keep playing.
Constitute as proving your identity.
So when a white man says, "So we the children of Israel," and when a white man comes and tells me, "Prove I'm the children of Israel," I don't have to prove it to him. I don't have to prove it. I don't have to prove it.
You
see how he laughed?
Who do you prove it to?
Nobody.
Right, because you have no proof, right?
Are you white? I'm assuming.
You have no proof, right?
Are we gonna have a conversation or not? I'm asking you a question. Are you white?
I asked you a question first, but yeah, I'll answer your question. Go ahead.
Slow down.
Yeah.
Before you asked me my question, I asked you the question first.
Okay.
I said, "Are you white?"
Watch.
Yes, I'm white.
Okay. Do you have?
Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Anthony from New York.
What's going on, brother? You got a question or comment?
Yeah, I was listening to that debate that you're talking about, and you kind of stung that dude. Was that aired last night?
Yeah, that was last night. Yep.
When you asked him what was Christ's color, and he was like brown. And then you asked him another question about did he have to prove it or whatever, and then you brought about the paintings and you talked about Caesar Boucher and all of that stuff.
That's right.
It's funny how when he asked you about you proving your identity, and I'm listening to the video now because it's going in order on how everything that was said between y'all both.
Right.
And he said that you had to prove yours, and then you asked him, "Is he white?" and did he have to prove? Did he have to prove that? I really think that people of non-color really have an issue with what the Bible says, and that's why it's been changed and altered. And you know, people when people
Well, the
do start
Bible
talking
hasn't been
about it,
changed. Well, just one quick correction. The Bible hasn't been changed from that position because we're reading in the Bible the real identity of the Israelites. The only thing that's changed is what's outside of the Bible, like the artwork, the imagery, the statues,
uh-huh.
the propaganda.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So outside of the Bible, we're going to see a white Jesus predominantly. Inside the Bible,
Mm-hmm.
we're only going to see a black Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So that's the only thing, but you can go ahead.
Yeah. So history basically, all those artifacts and whatnot that's around tries to twist what history says, but the Bible shows it clear what
That's
it
right.
is.
That's correct.
And it go back to what you said about, like, when you talk about the cities, I believe you were talking about the cities that where he was and whatnot. And people always, well, what did they look like? Well, why was he there? And this and that. All the Bible verses tell you where he was.
That's right. All of them. All of my
People really
and then the part I was saying on this live stream is that when they admit that Jesus was brown or black, you got to ask them, well, if Jesus was brown, what does that make his tribe that he comes from? Because Jesus can't be the only one brown. And then here's the crazy part. Now, I believe that Joseph is the biological father, but they believe that God made Mary pregnant. So if Jesus is brown, then that would mean by their logic that by their logic. Like that's what like we gotta really learn how to apply pressure, especially when it comes to identity and proving yourself to the white man. We don't have to do that.
Oh, that's an argument waiting to happen. That, I mean, it's always prove it. Everything is prove it, but it's all in the scripts. It says it there, but like I say, maybe people not caught up on it. And that guy, he came for a fight last night, but got set on fire real quick when you asked him what was Christ, and he was like, he thought about it for a second. He tried to wiggle out, and then he was like, brown. And then you were like, well, I'm brown too. So why would I have to prove to you where I come from or who I am?
That's right.
Yeah, that's right. That was beautiful though, Kat.
Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I
was glad today. You have a good day, man.
You too. Identity to anybody?
Absolutely not.
So why do I have to prove my identity to you?
Because you're making a claim that you're an Israelite.
Why am I making the claim? Why am I making the claim?
Because those words are leaving your mouth.
That's not why I'm making the claim.
That is because the words.
So now I want to get into my second subject.
It's actually simpler than that.
This might not be a long live stream. About to take my pre-workout, but I do want to play something for y'all. While I gather my pre-workout, I want to play something for y'all. So I saw this video this morning. I thought it'd be something interesting to talk about. Was there something else I had? I think that's it. Yeah, saw this video this morning. So I thought it'd be honey is lawful. Honey is delicious. You can do all type of things with honey. Ooh wee. Yes, honey is lawful. All right. Listen, Israel is called the land of milk and honey. Woo. Don't get me started on honey. So I'm gonna play this video. I'm gonna probably play it twice. And Mika's so damn stupid. I'm gonna play this video twice while I drink this. I want y'all to listen very carefully. Now, this video is about wills of slave owners. Let me see, I'll probably make it bigger for y'all. This video is about wills of slave owners. Give insight how they pass down enslaved people after they die. So I'm gonna play this.
Slavery and history books, but reading the wills of slave owners, you see how they really treated their slaves like property, handing them down from one relative to another. Back in the 1800s, that property included slaves. Fulton County Chief Probate Court Judge Kenya Johnson showed me wills her office discovered from back then where slave owners wrote what should happen to their slaves when the owners died.
It is my will and declare that all my Negro slaves divided into 5 lots. I bequeath to my daughter, Margaret Rebecca, my Negro woman, Jen, of dark complexion, and all of her children, to her and to her heirs forever.
Judge Johnson had her staff go through the wills to see what slave owners...
Did y'all hear it say to my children forever and her children forever? Listen to this part. Listen to this.
When the owners died.
It is my will and declare that all my Negro slaves divided into 5 lots. I bequeath to my daughter, Margaret Rebecca, my Negro woman, Jen, of dark complexion, and all of her children, to her and to her heirs forever.
Judge Johnson had her...
That said forever. Forever. Caller, what's your name? Where you calling from?
I'm calling from Georgia, Atlanta, Georgia.
Gotcha. You got a question or comment?
Yes, I do. I just wanted to shout out, man. Great work you're doing for the kingdom. Keep up the good work.
Thank you, brother.
I'm Codicine. Listen, man. I just wanted to throw this. I'm a Hebrew scholar. I have my degree in biblical Hebrew. I'm working on some translations. I'm excited about that. But one thing I found out I want to share with you is, why are we calling ourselves Jews? The word Jew is not in the Bible. It's a result of the translation. Yeah, Jews are not nowhere in the scripture. They're nowhere in the text.
Yeah, so it sounds like what you're talking about is from like an English or a translation position.
Yeah,
so Jews, it would be Yahwadah or Yahwadayim if it was plural. So you wouldn't see the shortened version of that word if you was reading Hebrew. I believe that's what you're saying. Hold on one second. Caller, hold on. They would wait. They would wait till I take my pre-workout. But go ahead, brother. You was talking about the translation. Go ahead.
Yeah. So in the Hebrew, all throughout the Torah Tanakh, right, it's the Yahudim, right? Now you can go with accent and inflection, but the word there is Yahudi, right? So the question becomes, in translation, we have Yahudi being translated as Jews.
Mm-hmm.
That's not a coincidence. This is their way to insert themselves into the book. See,
I wouldn't necessarily say but I wouldn't say.
Because look, it's a proper noun. Just let me think. Yahudi is a proper noun, right? So you don't translate or transliterate proper nouns, right? You preserve the sound. A transliteration is to preserve the sound. So what has happened in the past is they did not transliterate the term Yahudi. They replaced it with Jews. We don't have a high education in linguistics, so we don't comprehend that. But what I'm saying to you is it's an error to replace Yahudi with Jews.
So now,
that word.
When you say, so I would pronounce that Yahwadah, right? So we would just pronounce the Hebrew differently.
Yeah,
I don't just say, right. I don't. Yeah. But if you said Judah singularly, you would just say
Yahudah.
Right.
Yahudah.
Right. That's how you would say it. And then if you would
it's
say
a proper noun, so we have to stop embracing replacements to the proper noun.
Christ, brother. So if you said it in plural, you would add the im on it. We would add the yum on it to make it plural. So the reason in the translation when they put an S on Jew, when they just say Jew period, or when they put an S on Jew, the reason why they're doing that is if they're speaking about a plural of the people. Now, when it comes to translation from any language to another, there is going to be some transliteration. So I don't have no argument with you, except I don't think the translation is to insert white people, because I think
brother,
if they really...
Brother, I hear what you're saying, brother, but I need you to hear what I first said. So,
I heard everything.
So a translation brings the meaning right into another language. A transliteration brings the proper sound. It preserves the sound into the next language.
But what I'm trying to say, hear what I'm saying to you, because I didn't disagree with you. I repeated everything you said. I said, I'm not saying there's no transliteration. I acknowledge that. But what I'm saying is the white man didn't insert himself into the book at all. He just told you he was the people of the book. Because even if, whether we go to the language, whether we go to the content or anything that's contained in that book, it does not match them. So it's almost like when I
Right.
so last
Totally agree.
yeah.
Totally
So
agree.
thank you. So like last night I was having this argument with
Yeah,
this
we
white.
don't disagree with one another
Yeah,
at all. Yeah, this is
thank
not a
you,
disagreement. Yeah,
thank you. That
it's
and
just a
that's what I'm
clarification
right.
of
But I
we
agree with
don't
that.
need to.
We
I
don't
just
need to
want to
what?
highlight the most important part is we don't translate proper nouns, my brother. This is what I'm saying. This is the part everyone's missing. All right. So a name is it's not a common noun. So in translating, when you're translating a work and you come across a name, you don't translate a
I
person's
get you.
name
So
as
here,
a certain.
right? But
Right. So we've
so you can
allowed that with
understand what
our
I'm saying.
book.
So you can understand what I'm saying.
Mhm.
Bruce Lee is Asian, right? Let's say his Asian name is Bruce Lee. So we was reading Chinese work, translated into another, like in Chinese or with his name, right? It would be like a Pichi Kachao, but it was when it got to his name, it would say Bruce Lee, right? But
Yes.
now when it comes
What
to
makes that different? What makes that different, sir, is Bruce himself transliterated his own name.
no, but what
It's
I'm
just a
saying,
difference when a Chinese person comes here and he gives himself a name. That's not what we're doing here with the text. That's not the
when
same
you say, but
equivalence.
when you say Jews, right?
Yes, sir.
You're
Yes, sir.
not talking about a person. What you're saying would apply to Judah, the actual man whose name was Judah.
Every proper noun is what I'm saying. I'm saying every proper noun, sir. Not just Judah. Every proper noun needs to remain a proper noun, sir. It's not manipulated or changed. Okay, you don't change a proper noun in a translation. This is the part that's wrong that we're not comprehending. So we're accepting the changes, and we need to stop doing that.
We're not
A proper noun
accepting
remains
it.
proper.
We're not accepting the changes at all. If we were
Good.
if we
Very
were,
good.
yeah, if we was accepting the changes, then we wouldn't go into the Bible and tell the truth of the Bible, which is the most important part.
No, when I say you, I'm not saying you. I'm saying people
I'm
in
not
general,
talking like
not
that. No,
you.
I'm not talking about me
Mhm.
personally.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just talking about those that teach like me. And so what I mean by that is when we go into that Bible, we don't just correct language. We correct context. We correct the people. We correct every single thing that's contained in there, which is my point. So if I'm talking to somebody that doesn't know Jesus is Yahushua, doesn't know God's real name, I'm going to talk in the language that they understand. So there's nothing wrong with saying Jews. Isaiah 28:11 or Isaiah 29:11 says, "For with stammering lips and another tongue will I speak to my people." Because we've been in this captivity and removed from our language, it's hard. You don't want to just beat them down with the understanding of language. You want to say, "Hey, man, we have a Hebrew
Yeah,
class."
we're yes. I'm not saying we need to beat them down with another language, sir. I'm saying when you bring your knowledge from one language to another, there's a process to do it, and the way you do it is you don't manipulate proper nouns. That's all I'm saying. I'm just saying you don't proper nouns.
Right, and we don't. And you're
Well,
saying what you're
when I'm
saying
saying
is
we.
no. What you're
Just
saying
wait,
is
because I think you're thinking I'm talking about y'all, the
I'm gonna
teachers.
bring it
I'm not
right
talking about
back.
the
No, I'm gonna
teachers.
bring it right back to
I'm
what
not
you
talking
said.
about teachers.
I'm gonna bring it
I'm
right.
talking about the
Stop
scholars.
talking. Stop talking. What you said was
No, I'm the one talking, but you cut me off.
I'm telling you.
Listen to you.
telling you to stop talking. Thank you. So
Yeah,
now,
but you can ask. You
I ain't
ask me
gotta.
to
I
stop.
don't have to ask you.
But I'm not one of your
telling
little followers.
I'm telling you to stop talking.
You
I'm
can talk
telling you.
over me. That's fine. I'm keep talking.
I don't even have to.
People need to hear
I
this.
don't even have to
So
talk
look,
over you. I don't even have to talk over you. What he wants to believe is that the mistake that he makes is that he think that was done so that the Jewish man could insert him into the book. And I'm telling him the Jewish man didn't have to put Jews in there to insert him in the book. The Jewish man did not insert himself in the book. He just read the book and said, we're the people of the book, without inserting himself in the book. Just like the white man in the New Testament, when it comes to the New Testament, and then the white man gives us white Jesus, the white man didn't put Jesus in there, nor did he put a white man in there to make them be Jesus. He just told us that, and we accepted that. That's all I'm trying to explain to him. Caller, hold on.
okay.
All right. 239-265. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Shalom, all. This Fred from Florida.
Hey, shalom, Fred. What's going on? You got a question or comment?
Con. I was listening to General Muhammad last night. First of all, I want to say the white man is the devil, the absolute devil, the wicked devil.
Absolutely.
I want to say Muhammad had came. He said a precept, and I missed the Bible or missed the actual verse that he was saying. But he was saying that white people aren't real. Like the Bible says that they're not even people.
Right.
You know, I was wondering if you know what verse that was.
Hold on 1 second. These are the last callers I'm taking. Caller, hold on. So there's a couple of verses when they call them no people. Hey, can you mute me in the background? If you're not talking to me live, can you just mute me in the background? It might be I don't want to say Deuteronomy. I'll probably have to find it. Give me some time and then I'll find it and I'll get it for you, brother, because I can't remember off the top of my head.
No worries. I do have another question. I was talking to an officer the other day, and we was talking about. Well, let me ask you this: you don't believe in magic, do you?
No.
Right. So, what do you think about voodoo? I was having that debate, and he said that voodoo wasn't real.
Yeah, I don't believe voodoo is real at all.
So how do you justify Numbers 22 and 23? What does that mean?
Numbers 22 and 23 reads, it says, and the ass saw the angel of the Lord standing in the way and the sword drawn.
No, Salaki, that's not it. Salaki, that's not it. It's 23 and 23. Sorry, 23, 23.
Surely there is no enchantment against Jacob, neither is there divination against Israel. According to this time it shall be, said of Jacob and of Israel, what God had wrought. That's why I don't believe in none of it. So somebody can come to me you get with a Haitian woman or a Dominican, they be like, man, I'm putting a root on you, I'm putting a spell on you or something like that. This verse is why I don't believe in none of that. Because you can make the enchantment, but it ain't got no power over me at all. That's what this verse is saying.
So then how do you justify when God says, suffer not a witch to live?
Because people practice witchcraft.
How do you practice something that doesn't work or exist?
People celebrate Christmas every year, and that shit don't exist. They just celebrated Easter, and that don't exist. People celebrate a lot of things and worship a lot of things. They worship the tooth fairy. When your child loses a tooth, do you teach? I won't say you. The you is in general. Do people? I know I'll use myself. When I was a kid, and I lost my tooth, my mother said, "Put that tooth under the pillow, and in the morning you're gonna have some money." Did your mom ever tell you that?
Come on, sir.
Right. And you know who put the money under there? Your mama. It wasn't no damn tooth fairy.
Right.
We believe in a lot of shit that ain't real. Now, here's the flip side though. In the book of Samuel, Saul went to a witch to call up a spirit. In the book of Exodus, the Pharaoh was able to make a serpent out of the staff, and then Moses made a serpent. Now, here's the bigger thing. If the Lord decides to destroy you with what you believe in, it can actually happen. So when that staff was created, that's the Lord that made that staff. When Samuel called that spirit, when Saul went to that spirit to call up Samuel, that's the Lord that brought that spirit up. You want the proof? You read 2 Kings, I think it's 19, when the Lord had the council and said, who will make Ahab fall? And the lion spirit came and said, I'll be a lying spirit in the mouth of all his prophets. That's the proof. So none of that stuff works. The only thing that works is what the Lord decides to do to make you fall.
So Yahushua, though, he was performing supernatural feats, though, wasn't he not?
And who did that? He told you how he did the work. Who did the work? He told you how he did it. How did he do it?
Through the Most High.
Through the Most High. That's correct.
Fasting and praying.
That's right. He did it through the Most High.
All right, other one. I appreciate
that's what that verse, that you know, in the scriptures when it says there is no God besides me, that's what that verse means. That verse means that we don't do nothing by the name of Baal, Molech, or anything, because those are not real. Saying Molech is like, okay.
Salaki, go ahead. My bad.
Saying Molech is like saying the tooth fairy. But go ahead with your next question, because I got two other callers I got to get to.
Yeah, this is my last one. What is the divinity of Christ? Why is it that we make him out to be just a man when, you know, I think it's in Hebrews 12, it says it behooved him to be like his brothers. But before he was his brothers, he was something else.
We were all something else before we was our brothers. Before we all spirits out. Christ is a superior man. Christ is an austere man. Christ did miracles. But other men in the Bible did miracles too. Joshua parted the Red Sea. Moses parted the Red Sea. Elijah called fire out of heaven. Elijah resurrected the dead. That's why when it says behoove him to be made like his brethren, Christ didn't need to be made different from us to do what he did, because there was men before us that did what he did. What made Christ perfect is that Christ obeyed God without equivocation until death. There is no flaw in his worship, in his belief, in his life. From start to finish, he obeyed.
That is so crazy how it's right there in your face and you just need somebody to reread it.
Most high. That's why I've been a student since I've been in the truth. I've been a student, and I'll be a student until then. Sometimes I'll get asked a question. I might forget because I've been in class so long, but I know I can go to class and ask that question.
I appreciate it, brother. I appreciate it.
Hey, no sweat out. All right. Shalom out. Next caller is 269719.
Shalom, Cap.
Hey, shalom, brother. What's your name? Where you calling from?
My name is Greg from Battle Creek, Michigan.
All right. You got a question or comment, brother?
Yes, sir. Quick comment, then a question. Just like the last brother said, the white man is the absolute devil.
Mm-hmm.
Just the absolute devil, not just the devil, the absolute devil, according to the Bible. Man,
right.
I crossed the line radio show y'all did yesterday with the Edomite called. I'm like, this guy, white Christians are arrogantly ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
It's just crazy how arrogantly ignorant they are. But yeah, they are the devil, according to the Bible. Just wanted to get that out. My question was, when you first came into the truth, right? Did you come to the knowledge of the truth and then join ISUPK, or did you just immediately join ISUPK, and how was that experience for you when you first joined?
When I first found out I was an Israelite, I was learning with brothers that was not in ISUPK, and one of those brothers told me ISUPK was the truth, and then I went and learned from them. I knew the Bible, like a lot of us think we know the Bible. I thought I knew the Bible until I came into the truth. And my phone is overheating. All right, so brother, you can go ahead and finish. The brother I was talking to, you can go ahead and finish.
Okay, yeah, and my next couple questions is, so when you first joined.
Oh, that's what I was answering. So when I got into the school, that's when I learned. It wasn't magic where I just knew it. Like we all think we know the Bible, but I didn't really know the Bible till I got in the school and was taught.
Okay, kind. So when you first came around Brotherhood and brothers, did it make keeping the commandments easier, just being around brothers, holding you accountable?
Yeah.
Versus just saying you're in the truth and you just out here.
It absolutely, because my wickedness was great because I hung around niggas that was being wicked as me, so my wickedness was great. So my righteousness was great because I hung around brothers that was being righteous too. So it took away the shame. It took away the loneliness. It took away it's only me. And then to go further, When I came in, the school was in Philly. There wasn't no school in New York and New Jersey. I didn't have nobody close to me. So I had to go about establishing and finding brothers close to me. So I went and found brothers close to me.
Okay. All praises. So is there a school in Michigan?
Yeah. Let me give you the number for this. Let me give you the number for that.
Okay.
Give me 1 second. It's 313 313-285 6770.
6770.
That's the number you call.
I got it.
All right, no sweat, brother.
Thank you so much, Ken. Shalom to you.
Hey, shalom to you. 575-649.
Good morning, Cam. How you doing, man?
I'm good to go. How you doing? Shalom, brother.
I'm all right. Man, that last night, I was at work, but every time I took a break, it was right on time, man. I was saying, finally, because like you said, I watched some of the debate with the white guy on another channel, and then at the end of it, the part came and asked him a question. So him, the white man, the devil. Right. So him asking the question, he started talking about everything else because he knew the part had him hooked.
What was the question she asked?
She asked him about Isaiah, I think it's 3:1 when they say ox knows owner.
The ass is
owner.
His ass is master's crib,
right there. And she was saying, name somebody in the present time, because you know how I like to do.
Right.
She said, name somebody in the present time that had their heritage, their language, everything they knew about themselves stripped away from them. She started talking about the Russians, the Germans. She said, right now, I'm kind of paraphrasing what she doing. She said, right now, you can ask anybody, Russian, German, even the so-called Jewish people, where their hair, their language, all the people can trace their stuff right back. What country they came from, their language that they spoke, who their people is. Instead of him answering the question, this man gonna say, everybody been in slavery in ancient times. People went in slavery, they got stripped. She said, no, that's not the question I asked you. In present time, like the time that we in the last, 400 or 500 years by his father, and he could never answer. He was going all off, and man, what God did to that Edomite last night. And that's what our people need to see, how stupid the white man is. He never knew the Bible, and how to break him down.
Yep, and that's how you got to do it. Yeah, and the only way you can do that, you got to lose respect for the white man when you battling him. If you don't, if you keep some respect, like he could be right or he be shaking, you ain't gonna be able to attack him. You're not gonna have the strategic fortitude to get him.
Yeah, treat him like the child he is.
Facts.
Underneath us.
Facts.
Oh, one more thing too, Cat. I'm not gonna tell you. Keep up the good work, man.
Most high in Christ, brother.
On their neck. All right, shalom.
All right, shalom, brother. Shout out to Bone Dog. Bone Dog said, when I froze, them hateful bastards came about. Yeah, that's this whack-ass iPhone. Shout out to you, Bone Dog. When I came back, I saw you booting people out. I appreciate y'all allowing me to have this Short Car Chronicles. I did this for consistency's sake. I started not to do one this morning, but I love the platform. And when I say I love the platform, think about this, right? I don't know if this has to do with my introvertedness or anything like that, but I got to be some type of crazy in a way, because if I don't get phone calls, I still can do the live and talk to y'all and give a subject. But the whole time I'm talking to myself to the phone, but y'all are listening. And that's what makes it beautiful, the participation that y'all give. So y'all are the reason, outside of the Most High, of course, because I don't want my people to, other people to say, Cap, don't ever talk about. All of this is from the Most High. All of this is from our King Christ. But I do this primarily because of y'all and the support that y'all give me. So I try to make myself accessible so that you can pay your tithes, so you can get in class, so that we can all be Israelites and compel the Most High to get us out this hell. So until next time, Shalom Israel.